What's up, guys, and welcome back to All the Things I Love. This is a solo podcast that we do every single week here on Lifting Love. My name is Lenny Love, and I know what you're thinking. This is not the office. We're not at the office. We're actually on set, have a little bit of time before we film a podcast that we're about to do here today. I'm not going to give any spoilers. Make sure you check it out. Weekly drops every single Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. here on Lifting Love Reacts YouTube channel. The Lifting Love podcast, going crazy right now. Couple hundred views, first couple episodes. Really excited, super grateful that people are tuning in, paying attention, watching what we're doing. We have some really cool guests lined up, so I'm excited for that. But that's not what you're here for. We'll talk about the podcast here in a minute. What you're here for is all the things I love. WWE, sports, entertainment, and also some BTS, behind the scenes of what's going on in the Lifting Love Incorporated world. So, first thing I want to talk about, Saturday night main event, WWE's Saturday night's main event. I'm not going to lie, it was a glorified house show. If you're not going to give Jey Uso the belt, which I had a feeling they weren't going to, which it made sense not to, but something should change. You know, my opinion on this is, and I never thought I'd say it, and obviously the allegations around Vince McMahon are what they are, and I do not condone that behavior in any sort of capacity. That is awful behavior, and no one should ever have to go through any of the things that are being alleged. But creatively, you were always on your toes when Vince McMahon was behind creative. He could have, even something as similar as like the streak with the Brock Lesnar Undertaker, that thing got changed the day of. So why put on an event? I think the thing that I'm starting to realize is like titles are not changing hands as quickly as they used to. And I get it, right? Like you got to put the belt on people at certain times. And Gunther, it made sense. He was up and coming. I personally do not like his style of wrestling, but that is just me. There are people who love Gunther, and I think he's a phenomenal wrestler. I love his story, his transformation. He looks like a totally different person. He's killing it, and I really hope the best for him. He's probably going to go down as a Hall of Famer by the time his career's over because he's still super young. But if you're not going to drop the title to Jey, at least let Sheamus win. And I get it. Like, WWE loves this long-form storytelling, this long-term storytelling, like that takes months and years to develop. But Jey Uso is hot right now. People want Sheamus to win right now. Like, Sheamus is 15, 20 years in to his career. How much time does he really have left? God forbid he gets injured, and he's never able to do this. Jey Uso is the hottest superstar in the WWE right now. You can't tell me otherwise. That entrance is absolutely ridiculous. So in my opinion, I'd have to say probably the worst WWE show in a long time. Like the first SmackDown of the 2025 was better than Saturday night's main event with the Tiffany Stratton cash-in. That was a better show than Saturday night's main event. Like, obviously Rhea was winning, but if you're not going to drop the title to Gunther, I mean, if you're not going to drop the title from Gunther to Jey, you might as well have just given Sheamus an opportunity. And again, even if Jey only held it for a week until the Royal Rumble and him and Gunther had a rematch and he lost it, bro, that pop. Anyway, I really don't want to spend time on Saturday night's main event. I was so bored with it. It genuinely made me question if I want to continue watching wrestling, because that was the most boring event that I've watched in probably 10 years. Like, in the past 10 years, I haven't been... Like, WrestleMania in 2020 was more entertaining than Saturday night's main event. That's saying a lot. The Sweet Chin Music was gas, though. Shawn Michaels with the Sweet Chin Music was absolutely gas. I'm sitting there singing his theme song as he comes out. My wife's like, "Who's that?" I said, dig 'em cute. I know, I was going crazy. He's so good. The super kick was fire, on money, on point. Royal Rumble this Saturday, February 1st. I will be watching live from the hospital room as my wife is set to go into labor this weekend. So hopefully I can make it through the Rumble without the baby coming. But she's getting induced at 7:30. Royal Rumble starts at 6. We shall see. I got some predictions. I believe there's a 3 2 out of 3 falls, DIY and Motor City Machine Guns. Would like to see Motor City Machine Guns take that one. I think that's the right move. They kind of need the push. They're honestly possibly the best tag team in WWE at the moment. DIY is great. The heel turn was phenomenal, completely out of the blue. Got me. I was sitting there like, dude, what? I'm like, what? You know, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh. So DIY is killing it right now. But either Motor City Machine Guns wins, or Pretty Deadly comes and helps, and Pretty Deadly and DIY get into the thing that will lead to their story, possibly at WrestleMania. Who knows? Or the Street Profits, whichever that looks like. Then you're talking dude, that would be crazy. What did they do last year? Was it the 6-pack? The 6-pack tag match? Bring the Hardys back? They did it at like WrestleMania 30 or something like that when they had that thing. Just having a bunch of tag teams go crazy in a ladder match. That would be a great idea. Bring all the tag teams out, and they're going after the champion. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Women's Royal Rumble. So, gonna do a couple things. My pick, loudest pop, is gonna be Becky Lynch when she comes back. Winner, I have a feeling it's going to be Charlotte because she's being pushed a lot and she hasn't even made a return yet. But I would love to see Io Sky. She didn't win any of the, she didn't win the Intercontinental Championship, which I thought she would be a shoo-in for. So I figure if they're going to launch a rocket to somebody, it's going to be Io Sky. She's doing a phenomenal job. She's been probably the most entertaining women's wrestler in quite some time. The women's division is unbelievable right now. It's quite possibly literally the best time of any women's era in WWE. And there's just so much talent. Io Sky or my comeback person, besides Becky Lynch. I think Becky Lynch is going to have the loudest pop. But my surprise comeback or my biggest comeback person is Jade Cargill. And I think we're going to find out really quickly who the person is that attacked her. There was some backstage stuff. I don't really know the full scale of it. They kind of talked some rumors that, this happened and that happened and this happened and that happened, whatever. I think this is my prediction for this, and I hope this is exactly how it works. Bianca and Naomi, they're going to come in back-to-back. Or, Bianca's about to get eliminated, or Naomi's about to get eliminated, and all of a sudden Bianca comes out, and then Jade's going to come right out after, and they're going to, Naomi and Bianca are going to go on this crazy run. And then all of a sudden, the spotlight, and it's going to be Jade Cargill, and she's going to get into the ring, be all excited, and go, like how Batista was like, and then she's going to go after the person who attacked her, and it's going to be Bianca Belair. What a crazy turn. That's going to be incredible. So that's my surprise entrant. The ladder match, God, I'm really not excited for it. Cody's kind of getting a little bit of a heel turn. I like it. He's getting a little nasty. He's getting a little down and gritty. Kevin Owens is delivering on promos. He's making it so believable. It's quite possibly some of the better work of his career. I don't think Cody loses the belt before WrestleMania. I think he's going to have it at Mania. A lot of people are speculating it's going to be him and Roman. I personally do not believe that. I think Roman does need to be in the title picture, but I also think they just need to get Rock and Roman over with. It's been about 10 years that they've been doing this, and they almost had it last year, but then Cody came into the picture. I know for sure that they were going to make Roman the longest reigning champion of all time if Cody didn't go on that hot streak. So I think it's obvious Cody's going to win. Now, do I think there's going to be a surprise pile driver at the end? Maybe put Cody out till Mania. That's possible, so he can hold the title. Maybe he's dealing. I know he's dealing with some type of injury, because I feel like he hasn't been wrestling a lot when before he was wrestling all the time and doing house shows. So again, just something I can kind of see from. There's something I could just see from the outside looking in. Men's Royal Rumble. I think if they didn't, God, there's just so many like scenarios. You got the favor with, Paul Heyman. I mean, that favor could play into a lot. That favor could be Roman Reigns eliminating himself without anybody doing it. That would keep his character intact because now there's not a feud. Because realistically right now, if he's a tribal chief and nobody can beat him, he should win the Royal Rumble. So I think maybe it gets down to like a Final 5, Final 4, and he looks at Paul Heyman and he goes, "It's that time." And Paul Heyman convinces Roman to get over the top rope. But the thing is that CM Punk ends up losing as well. I personally want to see Jey Uso or Sami Zayn win the Royal Rumble. I don't think Cena's going to win. If Roman wins, it's kind of going to be predictable, and it's going to be Cody Roman Part 3. I don't think anybody wants to see that. I think Roman is going to eliminate himself for the Punk favor. Punk does not get the full benefit of it, or like maybe somebody he thought got eliminated, and it's him and Roman at the face-off, and all of a sudden he's like, I won, but the bell didn't ring, and all of a sudden either Sammy comes, or Jay comes, or Seth comes, or Drew comes, whoever that person is. But in my prediction, it has to be Sammy or Jay. Nobody else really makes sense. Drew's won, but he's already said he's going after the bloodline. Fatu could win. Fatu is on he's on a missile right now. I will tell you that Jay needs to come in 1 or 2, possibly 1, maybe 2, and come in from the crowd. That is unbelievable. The pop. Oh, loudest pop, Jey Uso. Surprise entrant is going to be Matt Cardona or Joe Hendry. Obviously, the partnership with TNA. I think Matt Cardona, is time for him to come back to WWE. Obviously not as Zack Ryder. I think he needs to come back as Matt Cardona. He's killing it on the indie scene. He's basically been a champion everywhere. Let's get this guy on the main roster. But I do believe that the Royal Rumble will be 100% better than Saturday night's main event. The Royal Rumble is personally, besides WrestleMania, obviously WrestleMania is the Super Bowl of what WWE does. Royal Rumble is my favorite pay-per-view. I could literally just sit here and watch old Royal Rumbles, people getting eliminated, the last 4, the last 5, and how it ends up. It is just cinema. So those are my predictions. Jey Uso, Sami Zayn. I think Paul Heyman. I think CM Punk is going to cash in the favor with Paul Heyman, and it's going to be to eliminate Roman Reigns. Joe Hendry, Matt Cardona, my surprise entrances, and yeah, that's going to be it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. All right, Super Bowl. Obviously, everybody's thinking it. Everybody's saying it. The refs got the Chiefs to the Super Bowl. There comes a time in sports when a team wins so much. The Boston Celtics, the Los Angeles Lakers, the New York Yankees. I'm trying to think of other teams. The Bulls, the Miami Heat when LeBron was on. The Warriors when KD and Steph and all of them were on. The Spurs. All these franchises that win and win and win. Tom Brady in football, Tom Brady and the Patriots. People are very jealous, and I get it. Your team's not in the Super Bowl. Your team's not making the playoffs. You're going to say whatever you want. But the truth is we are seeing history in front of our eyes, and instead of seeing it for what it is, we bash it. We make it negative. We just don't allow people to get their flowers. Andy Reid is, quite frankly, besides Bill Belichick, possibly, arguably, in my opinion, the greatest football coach of all time. The same could be said for Patrick Mahomes. Besides Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes might literally, arguably, in my opinion, be the best quarterback in NFL history. And lastly, the same thing could be said for Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is potentially Travis Kelce besides Tony Gonzalez, possibly, arguably, in my opinion, the best tight end who's ever played in the National Football League, besides Gronkowski. Besides Gronkowski or Tony Gonzalez, probably Gronkowski's in there. Were there bad calls? Yes. Do I think Josh Allen got a first down? Absolutely, to a point. Did the ball cross the line? Yes. But technically, on a run, well, so two things here. Technically, he's in the air. He was on somebody. He was in the air. Like, how does that in the rule book say if I jump and I'm over, but then I get hit and pushed back? I don't think that counts as a first down. Again, I am no NFL expert. I don't know the rules like that. But if I'm trugging along and I'm like literally in the air on the back of my lineman and I get hit and pushed back, did I technically get the first down? I truthfully, if you know in the comments, I would love to know, because in my head, that makes no sense. But again, the comments are going to say, y'all are going to say what you want, and I would really appreciate that feedback, because I truthfully have no idea. So there is an argument for both sides. If forward progression is a thing and that's all they care about, regardless of after the hit, then obviously it was a first down. I think even though all these things happen, Kincaid needs to catch that ball. That is a catchable ball, literally in his hands. That's a catchable ball. I mean, unbelievable throw. How Josh Allen, under pressure, getting hit, throws that ball. I mean, not many quarterbacks in history of football could make that throw. Possibly could only count on maybe one or two hands how many quarterbacks in the National Football League history could make a throw like that. Back foot, backpedaling as he's getting hit. It was unbelievable. I think Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson need to give themselves credit. Two phenomenal quarterbacks who are going to win very big in this league one day, but it's Patrick Mahomes' time. As much as I love the Philadelphia Eagles, I just want to see history be made. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Andy Reid will lead the Chiefs to their third consecutive, for the first time ever, three-peat NFL champions. And after that, my friend, they could never win another Super Bowl for the rest of their career. And that's it. Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs. Write it down. Been saying it for weeks now. Best team in football. They have a phenomenal defense. Their offense has gotten better. Possibly the best offense they've had since Tyreek Hill left. And that was 6-7 years ago. How long was that? Podcast news, man. Yeah, we're the Lifting Love podcast is your favorite podcaster's favorite podcast. And that's just what it is. And I'm sorry to let you know the news now, but somebody had to tell you. We are your favorite podcaster's favorite podcast, because that's just what we do, baby. It's Lifting Love. All we do is lift love, crush hate. All we do is motivate, inspire. And we talk to community leaders, entrepreneurs, people who are doing things, making moves. And I'm just so excited that we get to do this on a weekly basis. It's incredible. It's kind of therapeutic for me, because I love stories. I love talking to people. I love being able to sit across from people who maybe I know and I'm friendly with, but I learn more about them. It's genuinely incredible. We are, at this point right now, probably 13 episodes in. So next week we're dropping a bonus episode. Probably going to drop it, bonus episode Friday, Monday or Friday. I haven't really thought about it yet. Just depends on how the content looks and how everything comes out. I finished those edits tonight. The Lifting Love podcast, for me, it's not about fame or money or whatever. I truly love the hustle of it. I love not the hustle in like the money aspect, the hustle in I'm a one-man band. I come here, I set this stuff up. I got 3 cameras. I've invested into the content. Like, this is the biggest investment I've ever made into myself, into my content, into my brand. And, people are receptive of it. I've had nobody say no to wanting to be on the podcast. And it's such a humbling feeling to have people who truly support you around. People that I've made connections with over the past 2 years of being in business. And, God is so good, man. So if you're out there listening to this and you want to do something, whether it's content, whether it's podcasting, whether it's doing your own business, whether it's, being the best person at your 9 to 5, whatever that looks like for you, I just want you to know that you can do anything you put your mind to. And, at the end of the day, if in 5-10 years from now, nothing comes out of this, nothing comes out of all the content that I've made over the past 3-4 years, that's cool. But I can't look back and have any regrets and be like, well, I could have done that content thing, but I never actually went 100%. I'm working a full-time job. I'm doing 2 to 4 podcasts a week. About to be a father. I'm doing all these things. So there is literally no excuses. And it's so much easier to tell somebody else that than to listen to yourself. It's kind of this funny thing where, there's still things I don't do 100%. Like my physical health is taking a toll, hustling all this time. But I could literally stay up an extra hour and go to the gym. Instead of going to bed at 11, go to bed at 12. Lose that extra hour of sleep, but gain that health. So there's definitely things that I could do for myself. But to anyone watching this, just fucking do it. Go be the best at it because you are good enough and you can do anything that you fucking put your mind to. And I believe that, and you better believe that because that is not a spoiler. That is a fact. Is that his punchline? Oh, that's not a spoiler. That's a prediction. I don't even think that's his punchline. Anyway. Got some Nerf battles coming up in March. We're going to be doing them in Caldwell and Catawba County. Just an incredible area of Western North Carolina that we we do a majority of our business in, and we're lucky enough to get to call home. So if you're watching this or listening to this right now and you're in Catawba County and you're in Caldwell County or Burke County or Iredell or Lincoln or Alexander, any of the surrounding counties here in Western North Carolina, we're doing 3 Nerf battles in one day in March. Follow us on Instagram. Give us a DM if you live in the area. Obviously, we'll have to have you fill out some insurance forms, stuff like that, but it's all going to be free. We're going to cater lunch to all 3 events. And, man, it's just going to be a really good time. So if you're looking to come shoot some kids or adults with Nerf, if you're a kid looking to shoot an adult with Nerfs, hell, one of the battles might just be all kids because at that point we're going to have so many people. If that's something you're trying to do, hit us up on Instagram. That's where you can find us. That's where we post probably the most content besides here on YouTube. So make sure you go follow that page. I'm telling you, man, the podcast is going to be crazy. The Nerf battles are going to be crazier. I'm excited. So until next time, man, you already know what to do. Follow us on all social media platforms. Get this wherever. Subscribe to wherever you get your podcast at. Make sure you go check out the Lifting Love podcast, which is our weekly episodic podcast with a guest. Drops every Wednesday at 8:30. But until next time, there's only one thing to do, and that's lift love, crush hate. And just like that, we out.